Good afternoon. This is the Gateway to the South podcast here at Carolina Recruits. I'm your host, Joshua Graham, and I'm doing another intro for the pod that you're about to see now. What you're going to see is going to be a totally different background. Well, the sun was up at the time when I first recorded it. But I had some people behind me that I didn't really realize it at the time, so I'm redoing the intro for it. So either way, please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the Carolina Recruits YouTube page. You can also follow me at JG Recruiting on Twitter as well as Instagram. But I'll be going over the weekend games, the games from last weekend. Our game of the week, was Whiteville versus James Keenan. We also can go over the Battle of the Blues, Marlboro versus Scotland, and all the other top 10 games that we're going to. So we're going to take it to that right now. Like I said, the background going to look a little bit different, but trust me, same thing. All right, enjoy. So the first game that we're going to go over is the West Florence versus Socrates game. Socrates 5A school out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and West Florence right there across the bridge. It was a close game for the first half, and then it kind of just pulled away. West Florence pulled away late. A couple of things that stuck out to me that I did not know. Number one, Franklin Emerson playing quarterback. He's one of our top 5 linebackers in the Carolina Recruits football, especially for seniors. But he's playing quarterback, had a couple of sacks, but actually accounted for 3 touchdowns. 4-star safety Kelvin Hunter, he had a kickoff return touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Trey Leonard had a touchdown. Jamarcus Askew had an interception. He was injured in the preseason this year. Came back, made a great impact, got an interception. And I haven't really gotten these stats from Socrates yet, but they scored 27 points, and I'm sure it was kind of competitive. Like I said, the game was pretty close for the most part for the whole duration of the game. They just pulled away late, but West Florence ended up winning, pulling out the W. Wallace Rosehill visiting Hoggard. And I say this: I know both teams entered the matchup with winless, but I also felt like whoever loses the game still has a chance to do pretty well in the playoffs. So Wallace ended up losing, so now they're 0-3. The thing is, their 3 losses are against 3 really good teams. Havelock's undefeated. Clinton's #1 team on our board, as well as in Hoggard has like about 30-some seniors, almost 40 seniors. And they're one of the best teams in 4A football, and Wallace is a 2A school. So cut them some slack, man. I think they're going to be prepared later. I haven't gotten these stats from Hoggard, but Irvin Brown, he had 164 total yards, and Corbin Kerr, he paced him with 146 and 2 touchdowns. That's Wallace. So I look forward to hearing from Wallace late. I think they're going to turn it around in the middle of the season. Next, we have the crosstown matchup between the 9-0 versus 8-4-3. Highly anticipated matchup. 2 undefeated teams, Marlboro County versus Scotland County. Scotland got the best of them, man. They ended up pulling away late. Offense just finally clicked. I was at the Terry Sanford game last week, and they were okay running the ball. Passing could have been a little bit better this week. It looked like they got everything together and excelled. Jasiah Fatter, Super Junior, 9 for 13, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zay Jones, one of our Big 16 guys for sure, 19 carries, 156, 2 touchdowns. Backup Kaheem Hasty had, I think, 114 in a touchdown. Quad led him on receivers, 4 for 93. And I know Day had a real good catch touchdown highlight. Damon Short from Marlboro had a touchdown as well. I want to shout him out. He's one of our top underclassmen as well in the Carolina Recruits region. So, but yeah, man, Scotland looks pretty good. They tested going into week 4. Last week, a non-conference game against Jack Britt. They look real good for the 3A. A couple 9-0 versus 9-9 matchups where I'm happy to say we went 2-0 this weekend. Pinecrest took care of business against Middle Creek, as well as Southview taking care of business down in the Bull City against Riverside. I'm gonna start with Pinecrest. Now, Pinecrest kind of like for the most part, it was a struggle. Well, I'm not gonna say it was a struggle. They end on the score box. It looks like they kind of pulled away, like they're consistent. Middle Creek scored a couple of touchdowns late, and I'm assuming that's through the air because Middle Creek ended up accumulating a lot of passing yards from what I can tell. So it probably was like something late, but they was led on offense and defense by Jay Bird. He ended up having 2 touchdowns and a sack, as well as their junior receiver, which probably needs to be on my underclassmen list. JT Medley had also a touchdown and a big catch. So I look forward to getting some film on him and evaluating them. But Pinecrest did what it was supposed to do. Middle Creek doesn't look to be that good this year, but showed a little bit of a fight. But hey, like you play what's on your schedule. It's a big time win for Pinecrest going down to Raleigh and pulling it out. Congratulations. Southview, on the other hand, was extremely dominant. No matter what. So this is the deal. Going to another city, going to another market. I know it's non-conference, but these are teams that you're potentially going to play in the playoffs. So going down to Durham, pitching a shutout and just being dominant. Tariq Clary, I know we had them earlier in the year. He started off hot, and it looks like that's kind of, he picked it back up, 11 for 12, only 1 incompletion. I'm pretty sure it was either throwaway or a drop for 211 yards and a touchdown. Rutt had the same type of production, 12 carries for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. Speedy got on the board, 3 catches, 95 yards with a touchdown. All phases of the game, man, it's looking like Southview is caught this stride. The game we went to actually might have been, well, by far was their worst game. The last 2 they've been having, it was shutouts. So not this week. I believe they're on the bye week this week. It sets up to be a very interesting game against 71st in 2 weeks. It's going to be a really good game, really good contest to determine, that 4A, 3A. All right. Next game was a complete, washout. I was not expecting that. Northern Nash, it was 34-0 at one point against J.H. Rose. And Rose got some games coming up. They play Hogger next, Jacksonville, then they get into it's like, you know what I mean? It's sink and swim time for J.H. Rose. But Northern Nash, complete domination. Randall King, one of our top players in the whole. He's a top 10 player in the Carolina Recruits. He had a crazy pick six I know we're going to see in top plays of the week, as well as another touchdown. Trey Battle had a crazy catch. They couldn't wrap him up, scored a touchdown, 7-yard touchdown run as well. But it's really about the defense and what they were able to do. The super sophomore, Jason Shepard, they turned him over 3 times. I don't know if that's a career high for him or not, but that was really shocking to kind of see Northern Nash kind of flexing their muscles as far as being a real power in the 3A. Battle of the Blues. I actually had a great, I'm going to call him an insider, a co-insider. I don't want to reveal his identity, but I appreciate it. He kind of kept me up, gave me a play-by-play of the game, so that I wouldn't be able to, kind of make a good decision for myself, like what was going on. But it was a back-and-forth matchup. I was able to see Terry Sanford last week against Scotland, and it kind of seemed like it was around the same type of game. But Cape Fear, man, another one of those sneaky 3A teams, especially them, because they went from unranked to, I believe they shooting up the board now. They positioned themselves to be one of the top teams in 3A in the state, actually. But they ended up pulling it out 38-25. Rico had some great catches, 4 for 11, 2 touchdowns. On the other side of the 6'6", Wake Forest commit, Favors did really well. The running back told me he was going to get 3, but he got 1. Touchdown, we had 137 yards. Quarterback, 8 for 16, had a pick, but he had 3 touchdowns himself, 165 yards passing. Shout out to Rasheed Jones. He scored 2 touchdowns. And they got this week off, Terry Sanford that is. They'll be fine for conference play. So I look for them to kind of turn the ships around. The game of the week, James Keenan, once undefeated, James Keenan versus Whiteville. They ended up losing 42-7 down in Whiteville. It started off a pretty good game. Whiteville scored first, they took the lead, but it ended up getting called back. And they kind of that was it for him, honestly. Now I do want to shout out Hassan Cornegay. He was one of the best linebackers I've seen. He had one of the best linebacker performances I've seen all season. He's come in averaging 17 tackles a game. He did not disappoint. And just about every tackle that he made was physical, strong, fast. He's like about 6'2", 6'3" guy, and they can really run. So shouts out to them. I think they ended up they scored 80 last week, only got 7 this game. So I know that was a big culture shock for them. But they end at Columbus County. They they got to see West Columbus, and they're undefeated too right now. So I looked for James Keaton to respond. The game of the week. Their player of the game was A.D. Morris, number 2 linebacker. Like, he's one of the best linebackers in our region as well. I actually didn't have him listed, and he made sure to show me why. I made a mistake. 11 tackles, 7 solo tackles, 4 for loss. Did extremely well. But I also want to shout out Luke Dotem, the quarterback. Phenomenal, man. 4 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. The way, White was traditionally a running school, so he's pretty slick. You know what I mean? The way he's pulling it, and getting down the line. Amari Best, another senior, phenomenal game, fumble recovery, had a long 67-yard touchdown run. Cameron, another 2-way guy, linebacker. He actually caught one of the touchdowns for him, as well as Will Fisher, who ended up getting an interception as well as a touchdown. All around great game, and looking next week to a big matchup against Clinton. How's it going, guys? So we're back. It looks so nice out here tonight, and it feels so good that I kind of decided I just want to kind of do some more content, drop some more content. So we decided to I got enough of them so far for highlights of the week for week 3. So that's what we're going to do. Coming up next will be the highlights for week 3. All right, we're going to start things off in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with Malachi Washington, senior running back. He has about 500 yards rushing on the year. He actually hit over 200 the last 2 games. Big, physical, fast, can take it the distance, as you see in the videos. He actually let me know that I've been overlooking him. So I'm glad that we can get some more guys, especially from that the PD area, man. They get a lot of they don't get as much attention down there as they should. But Malachi Washington, Myrtle Beach. And in the beach, we're going to go down to North Myrtle Beach High School, actually, with a receiver, Caden Gore. He's having a tremendous year so far. 3 games he's played, 3 touchdowns. Can run any route in the route tree. Line him up in the slot, line him up on the outside. He's been doing most of his damage this year, as you see, just running posts, running by guys. You know what I mean? So I know he has, he's listed as a 4.5. He might even be a little bit faster than that. But I can't wait to get some work with him in this offseason. Caden Gore, class 2025 receiver, North Myrtle Beach High School. And in the beach, we're going to go down to North. We're going to start things off with Hezekiah from West Bladen. He was on here last week. Had a couple of more great plays. See, he's showing you the full package here. Fade to the left, as well as having the ability to break all those tackles and have enough speed to take it the distance. Next, we got Darius Bethea, big 6'2", 230-pound running back, linebacker from Purnell Sweat, undefeated Purnell Sweat, pride of Robco right now, with a good gain. And LeBron Cobb, undefeated out there in Ladder. He's been on here a few times as well. Just going crazy, having a phenomenal season. I'm going to start on the Bull Sharks, big guys, man. Zion Gills, Carvers Bay, taking this band all the way to the sideline. He's going to be one of the top linemen. Like I said, he's one of the top linemen in our region. Going to West Florence, Tayden Singletary. He's one of our top underclassmen. He's a guard out of West Florence. Did really well right here. Cash Foster, west over Fayetteville. He's having a great year as well. Scored a touchdown, a lot of tackles, leading his team to an undefeated season. All right, last of the day we're going to go over is Kamal Timms and Rasheed Jones, both of them seniors out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Terry Sanford. They lost the last 2 games, but they're doing really, really well, man. Like you see right here, Rasheed scoring his 2 touchdowns off basically the same play, but showing the speed to kind of take it the distance, as well as with Kamal Timms, as well as Jalen Wright as well. But Kamal getting the ball, shaking his guys, hitting, like actually breaking 2 tackles to make it to the end zone, and he's their number 1 corners. These guys, despite losing the last 2 weeks, are having great, phenomenal senior seasons. All right, that was fun, man. This might be a new thing for us, man. I kind of like this nighttime look outside like this. But either way, thank you for watching. I'm going to release tomorrow morning the new top 25 for. Anybody who releases top 25 before all the games being played, like, is really a joke. That's how I feel about it. Either way, so I'm going to release that tomorrow morning, and we're going to have a recap about that as well. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to the Carolina Cruise YouTube channel, and thank you for supporting us this far. Trying things out. Just watch us grow. We're going to keep on trying more and more things. But again, thank you for your time.